accessing n8n, there's two options. One is local installation, for which you need to have this. There's a process. It's not much. If you folks are comfortable with coding, this should not be much, right? So it should be straightforward. And then there is n8n Cloud, which is so much easier. If you also are a beginner and let's say you don't know much programming and stuff, you can just go to n8n.io. Right now, if you don't have the account, just go there, start a 14-day trial and get started. Don't worry about installing anything. Just go with this for now. And later, when you have the time, you install it and then maybe, follow along. But anyway, for now, I would recommend just taking this and getting started if you're not already. Okay, so go to n8n.io, start a 14-day trial and get started, right? Now, inside of n8n, because most of you have not used n8n, right? I'll talk of this a little bit. There are 2 or 3 types of things, okay, inside n8n, which is really important to just understand what they are. One, there is some things to do, of course. So send an email or update a Google Sheet or fetch some information, right? Or extract image, something like that, right? So there's specific actions, right? And these actions happen through these nodes or apps or whatever you might call them. Okay? So you can use a Salesforce system, you can use Gmail nodes. So you can perform various actions inside of n8n using these nodes. So that is, a to-do thing. But there's also triggers. So something which kickstarts the process. So for instance, every Monday morning, the whole system should work and do this. That is like a scheduled trigger, yes? Or it could be manual. I click on a button and then it starts, right? Or when someone submits a form, like in our case, we'll make something, right? The form will be live all the time and someone submits the form, then this workflow is triggered. Otherwise, this workflow is just, waiting in a way, right? So there are actions, there are triggers, and then there's also filters and conditions which say manipulate or which control how the data flows, which control which things are to be run, which things are not to be run, and so on, right? There's essentially these 3 types of things. So what to do, right? And when to do, right? And what conditions and filters you have to apply. Very simply, that's what it is. And we will see this, but once we see this inside, it'll be much easier, right? And a simple workflow could be something like this. So let's say there is every day at 9 a.m. do this thing. You kind of like, my email is fetched, let's say, every day at 9 a.m., right? And then there is sorting and filtering and formatting, remove this or do that, or, summarize this or give me a summary and so on, or draft a reply. And then there is an action finally, which is, okay, schedule a meeting with this person or send an email or update a Google Sheet and stuff. So this is like a very minimal thing. Of course, you can have many more actions and many more conditions, but bare minimum, right? You have something which is some sort of a trigger, and you do some basic manipulation of it, and then you send it back, right? Or do some other action with it. That's it, basically, that's it. So we will see how to do this. Every workflow we build, there will have to be a trigger. In our case, it will be a form. Someone has filled a form. Then there will be a lot of data manipulation, extraction, and so on. And then there will be end actions like, okay, in our case, putting it into a database or putting it somewhere else, right?